Hey guys, and you're welcome to Czechmyguns. My name is Karl, and today we will look at this very interesting straight pull Action 22 from Brno, Czech Republic. So let's check it out. So what we have here is a straight action 22 Rimfire from Brno Firearms company. And it was actually one of the last attempts of Brno Firearms company to come up with something fairly easy to manufacture and something that they would be able to sell all over the world. This rifle was introduced on EVA in year 1998 and it was put into production a year after, in year 1999. And soon after, in year 2004, the Brno Firearms company went to bankruptcy, so the production didn't last that long and no one really knows how many were actually made. So this rifle is called ZOM 451 and it was designed by a man named Adolf Oderski. And if it sounds familiar, ZOM 451, that's probably because it's very similar to the original marking of the legendary 22 coming from Brno, ZKM 451. So what that shortcut stands for, Z is there for Zbrojovka, as the Brno Firearms company. K is there for Koutsky, because Koutsky was the designer of the original 22. And M stands for Malorážka, which means rimfire in Czech. 451. So the original 22 created by Koutsky was created in year 45, so right after the Second World War. And the number 1 at the end means that it was the first project of that time. So what we have here is ZOM. Same thing, instead of Koutsky, there's O for Oderski, so ZOM. But 451, there's actually no reason to put this number there with the logic of the year when it was created. So they put it there just because they want to have some sort of connection with the legendary 22, probably. And I think now it's time to go for a closer look of this very interesting firearm. If we start at the back, here we see the butt plate with a typical Z in a spiral, which is the symbol of Brno Firearms company. Going forward, here we see the peep sights, but originally the gun didn't have those. I put that on. This is actually my gun. I bought brand new. Originally it came just with this very simple rear sights and also very simple front iron sights, but I changed that for a peep sight for diopter. And if we look at the markings, here we see the ZOM 451 caliber 22 made in Czech Republic. And here we see Brno Arms, which is the typical marking for Brno Firearms company in the 90s. So if the last marking before they went to bankruptcy. And here is again the Z in a spiral. Here we have some proofing marks, but I bought this rifle brand new in the year 2015, so it got brand new proofing marks from that year, so way after the Brno Firearms company was already gone. And if we look from the other side, here we see the serial number 1530. Yeah, so here is the magazine, which is different than the rest of the magazines of typical 22s like ZKM 451. It actually holds 7 rounds, which is also quite interesting. It's not 5, it's not 10, it's 7. So different one with this very large support from the back of the mag, which is connected with the trigger guard, which has quite interesting shape, and that was for better support for sporting shooting, so you can put your hand like this. And here actually you might see there are some screws behind the trigger, so the trigger is actually settable. You can change the trigger pull and trigger weight, but it's still pretty horrible, pretty bad trigger, to be honest. And here we have the cocking handle and the bolt itself. So if I pull it, you see that first only the cocking handle is moving. That does the unlocking of the bolt, and then you pull the bolt back. And this is the final position in back. So if you're, for example, lefty, you can hold the gun like this and recycle, and it's not gonna cut you in your finger or in your hand, because the travel is so short, which is pretty cool. I really like it. And if I wanna take the bolt out, well, before that, if I cock it here, you see that the gun is cocked, ready to fire. Here you have this very flimsy control lever with the red dot, which means that this is the safety. So now we're on safe, cannot really fire. Now we're on fire position. And this lever also works if you want to take the bolt out of the receiver. You have to press it with the bolt handle and pull it back. So that's how you take the bolt out. It's pretty similar to any 22. Here's the firing pin on the top, here's extractor, here we have serial number. But so how does the locking works? Actually, this is how. Now it's locked. You see this part that moved out of the bolt downwards and actually holds the bolt in a place against the receiver. So that's the whole locking system. So the last part of the movement with the cocking handle does that. So instead of moving bolt, you move just this tilting part. Other than that, there are, you see here is this notch or cutout, and there is a bearing inside here. So if I put it in the front, yeah, that locks into that cutout. And also there's another cutout here in the back, you see, where this metal hook locks if I pull it back. So if I want to release it, I need to lift it up. There are a lot of tiny things that work together with this lever. There's another, you see this? It's something like a hook, which actually prevents it from when you cycle it to pull it out of your receiver, because that actually reacts with this cutout in receiver. If I put the bolt back inside, and now I cock it here, you see it here, that this little hook prevents it from pulling it all the way back. So I lift it up with the lever, and now I can release it again. And yeah, the whole bolt is actually quite interesting variation on Mannlicher 1886 straight action bolt. But yeah, very cool, very interesting, and very simple. This was pretty cheap probably to manufacture. Before you put it back, you need to, of course, put it in this position so you can fit it in, and the locking part of the bolt is not out of the bolt, so it makes it this tubular look. So I put it back, and we are back. And now I think we are ready to take it to the shooting range and see how it shoots actually. Alright guys, so we are at the shooting range and we can finally fire with the ZOM 451. Well, I filled the mag, 7 rounds. It actually can hold 8, but then it doesn't work the proper way. So yeah, 7 rounds, and let's go for some fast shooting. First malfunction. Maybe even 7 is too much. Damn it. So that one, come closer. That one got stuck halfway there. So let's get rid of this one and continue with the shooting. Done. So yeah, 6 rounds. Don't know why the first one failed. Let's try it again. Alright guys, so I have 7 rounds in the magazine and we will see if it's gonna work or not. Perfect. Now it worked flawlessly. Amazing. It was really good. The trigger is not the best actually, it's a bit stiff, but you can tune it up with the screws underneath it. I've never really had a play with it, but it was a pleasant shooting and I really enjoyed that. Well, if you guys like the video, press likes and subscribe. And if you really like the video, there are various ways how to support me and my channel. It's gonna be all over the place, also in description. And I hope we'll see each other next time. See you, bye.